What's going on? We are back. What day is it? The last day of August 31st, 2025, Sunday, Labor Day weekend. For those of you who don't know, I am Dave, the host, a 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from patents, trademarks, copyrights, as well as trade secrets. And we got a little bit of everything for you guys lined up today. So I'm excited about this show. And again, I'm not going to keep you guys too long, man, because I know that the Catholics versus convicts. I mean, the Notre Dame versus Miami game is kicking off at 7:30. So I have about 30 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep this to 30 minutes. Maybe it goes a little over. But if you guys haven't noticed, I'm excited today. I'm excited really the whole week, man. I had a phenomenal week. And one of the things that I was able to get to do a couple days ago was interview someone who made all of our childhoods amazing. That person is Lonnie Johnson. So this is the interview, just a snippet. This is a picture from that interview with me and Lonnie Johnson. So for those of you who don't know, Lonnie, he invented the Super Soaker, plain and simple, the water gun. But he, and man, did a lot of other things outside of inventing the Super Soaker. But he's probably most famous for the invention of the Super Soaker water gun, which I think he made like probably 100 million. I think he just got a lawsuit, or he just got awarded a lump sum from a lawsuit in which awarded him like $80 million or something on the line. So, man, he's definitely riding a good life. He also invented the Nerf gun. So, yeah, man, very successful inventor. He's currently doing a whole lot of good stuff with solid state technology and batteries. So that's his next thing that he's trying to tackle is batteries. And one of the things that Lonnie Johnson said that resonated with me during the interview is never put all your eggs in one basket. He said one of the things that was able to make him successful. And the interview is going to come out October 1st, which is the start of Intellectual Property Month. But one of the things that, again, he talked about was never put your eggs in one basket, just because it's certain things that you can't control. He talked about being a part of the dot-com bubble of early 2000s. He talked about being a part of the recession in 2008. And obviously, we all kind of were a part of COVID a few years ago. And he talked about when you put your things in multiple baskets, you kind of insulate yourself from different things that are going on. So again, Lonnie Johnson, be on the lookout for that interview that comes out October 1st, the inventor of the Super Soaker. I had a chance to interview Lonnie Johnson 3 days ago, Thursday. And I mean, it was a phenomenal interview, man. So you can tell he's a big dog. So Lonnie Johnson, shout out to him. I did want to kind of play that, or at least show that picture, because that was somebody who I actually enjoy interviewing, man. It one of the, it's every once in a while. I mean, I kind of sneak these interviews in there of some top dogs. A couple years ago, it was Dan Klitschner, who invented the game Bop It, who, again, people are still playing to this day. This one, Lonnie Johnson, who the inventor of the Super Soaker. Hey, man, when I get a chance to do these interviews, it's sweet. So, again, for those of you who joining in the chat, man, please, hey, let me know where you're from. Hey, if you got a question on intellectual property, trademarks, copyrights, patents, hey, drop it in the comments or drop it in the chat. I will answer that question. This is probably the only time this week that you are going to be able to talk to an IP attorney. Your boy billing rate almost $400, so it is otherwise pretty expensive to talk to me. However, when I do these interviews, I do welcome questions for people to talk or ask me about intellectual property. I had a gentleman who he watched the videos and different things. He's from Maryland. And I talked to this guy for like an hour or so, 30 minutes on Wednesday. So shout out to that gentleman who reached out to me, and we had a nice conversation on intellectual property. So I do welcome the questions. We have a full show for you guys lined up. We have somebody tried to trademark the F word and was rejected. They appealed it, and I'm going to show you what the Court of Appeals said about the USPTO decision to reject his trademark application for the F word. Now, hey, when I say the F word, I think we all know the F word that I'm talking about. So we'll go through that. Your boy Bill Belichick is back in the news. I think they got a game tomorrow that they play. But his girl is, I think, Jordan. She's filing some more trademarks that I think we'll all find interesting. I'm kind of interested to get your guys' thoughts on the trademark that she has filed. We'll go over the buy in now, that pitch of the week. Spice King, the interview of the week. Again, it seems like a Japanese company has got a patent on some technology, some robots to be able to, clean up the debris from the orbit. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then a trademark or the lawsuit of the week. Seems like two Hispanic companies down in Florida has kind of going toe to toe based on a particular name. So we'll go through all that. I do want to kind of mention peace, love, intellectual property. You see me wearing a shirt, Peace, love, intellectual property. Check out the link in the description. Hey, go purchase a shirt. I can guarantee you this. Every time I wear this shirt, I get stopped. And to the extent that you have a business and you want to kind of organically kind of get out the word of the business without having to go up to people and hand out cards, hand out flyers or business cards, whatever the case may be, that peace, love, intellectual property shirt, you're going to get a lot of compliments and people are going to come up to you and say, hey, what you know about intellectual property, which is a perfect time to talk about your business or whatever the case may be. So peace, love, intellectual property. Go purchase that shirt. That link is in the description. I'm not sure if Brandon is online. Normally, I'll tell Brandon to put that link in the chat, but I'm not sure if he's online. So we're going to kind of kick it off here. What do we want to start out with first, man? What do we want to start out with first? We're going to talk about the Buy It Now, that interview of the week. Let me kind of tee it up here. Channel content. Buy It Now. Here. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. I got to put these things in better order, man. Alex, no. Where is it at? So we're going to be starting out here with the Buy It Now interview of the week, which was a gentleman from Michigan here, specifically St. Clair, which is not that far away from me. He had a phenomenal product. I'm trying to kind of pull up the site to be able to talk about it here a little bit. I don't even think I was saying, but it was Liddle speaker. So again, this gentleman is from St. Clair in Michigan. So I'm going to definitely hit him up to try to get him on the platform. So Buy It Now is essentially Amazon's version of Shark Tank. Those of you who don't know, and you have pitches, people that pitch actually to a live audience, and that live audience telling real time whether or not they'll buy the product. And then if they get enough people to say they'll buy the product, they then go over to the panel of 3 members to, they need 2 out of the 3 members to say yes to their product. And they go to Amazon's exclusive Buy It Now store. I forget the gentleman's name, but hey, you can see down below, picture to the left, he won a CES, which is a big conference in Vegas that's put on every January called the Consumer Electronics Show. He was an award winner in 2025. So this past year for his Liddle speaker, which kind of doubles as a kickstand for your phone. You can put this thing on, obviously, your phone. It's a magnet that you can put to your phone. You can put to any material that has a magnet to it, your boat, say a car, golf cart, whatever the case may be. And the speaker is a pretty nice size. I mean, it projects pretty loudly. So go check out my reaction video to that Buy It Now pitch. Again, Brandon is typically here. I'll tell him to put it in the chat. But if you go to Everything Intellectual Property, the YouTube channel, you will see that breakdown that I did of the Liddle speaker from Danny. Danny is his name. He's older, man. So shout out to everybody who's still being productive and inventing things, even though they are later on in the game. So I do want to shout out to Danny on that. Let's kind of go to the next one. What do I want to go to next? We'll go with the F word. The F word. So let me kind of pull up here something. I do want to pull up this one, man. I do want to pull up this one. So I'm grabbing receipts, channel content, the F word, F word. So failed. Bada boom, bada bang. So this gentleman, whose name is Brunetti, at least his last name is Brunetti. You can see the picture to him down to the left. He was looking to trademark the F word, which is, typically in 2019 or before 2019, with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, you cannot trademark obscene terms, obscene phrases. However, it was a Supreme Court case that came down in 2019 that start allowing people to file trademarks for obscene terms, obscene phrases. And this guy actually submitted this trademark application. After that court came down, the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, rejected his application because they tried to say that his trademark for the term fuck was, hey, it's something that we use in everyday terms. It's a popular word. And the USPTO rejected it in light of that. But the court said, hey, just because this is a popular word, you have to show me why this would not be, why this would be, why it shouldn't get a trademark. In other words, why it's generic or descriptive as it relates to the goods and services that he's using. I think he was trying to sell backpacks and other things of that sort with the term under the brand name fuck. And the USPTO pretty much said, or USPTO rejected his trademark application. However, the federal court said, hey, USPTO, they pretty much slapped the USPTO on the hand and say, hey, you guys have to give us a little bit more explanation as to why he can't, your boy Eric Brunetti cannot trademark the term fuck for backpacks. It's not like he's trying to trademark this thing for everything or everyday use. He's trying to use this term fuck as a brand name for backpacks, which I do think is crazy. And I think people need to kind of pay a little bit more attention as to what they're trying to trademark. And I do think that anytime you can do something you get a trademark on a term such as this, it can kind of help out from a branding standpoint, but you also got to look at, who's your customer. Pretty sure kid or parents not buying this backpack with the brand name fuck for the kids. And so you're going to essentially exclude all those consumers, pretty much kids, because you're not going to be able to sell to them. So, you got to kind of think through these things, even though you can get a trademark on a term that's, I don't want to say offensive, but, some people say the word fuck is offensive. But even though you can get a trademark on these terms, it still may not be good for business long term. I like liquid death, even though it has the word death in it. It's still, with regard to water, I think it's going to, pique a lot of interest, and people are going to want to try the product as a result of that branding term, liquid death. But again, it's still water at the end of the day, and it's not a cuss word. So just because you can get a trademark on a cuss word, which in this case, I think Eric Brunetti is going to get a trademark on a term fuck for his backpacks and other goods that he's selling. I think that I'm not sure how successful it'll be with the product. So those are my terms. Let me know, would you trademark the term fuck? That's kind of the topic of discussion, where, again, this gentleman to the left, he filed for a trademark application on the term fuck. And like I said, the USPTO originally rejected him. The court slapped the USPTO on his hands, and it looked like, he may ultimately end up getting a trademark on that term. So I want to move on to the interview of the week. Your boy Spice King, shout out to Keith. I'm gonna tee this up because I do want to play a snippet from this interview. I want you guys to let me know what you guys think. Your boy Keith, man, he the real deal. He has a line of spices as well as chips that he's came out with. He was on a Buy It Now show that I had just spoke about a little earlier, and we are going to kind of tee him up and see what he has to say about his product. So let me know what you guys think in the chat about the product, but I'm gonna at least kind of see what he has to say. He actually has a song too, which I think plays on the beginning. Let's go.
Like you, they trust you, your brand. It's like you got Pepsi, you got Coca-Cola, you got Shasta Cola, you got, all kind of other types of brands. People are gonna fall in line with your product because they like you, and based off of the law of numbers, somebody's gonna buy it. So go ahead and go put it out there.
So shout out to Keith with his product. You see the product, the seasonings on the left-hand corner. He was on Buy It Now show. I think he won a $20,000 on the show at the end of the episode, but I actually was able to interview him. That interview just dropped on Wednesday, so go check it out. Man, this guy has a fascinating story. Moved to Japan, moved to Asia, Dubai, cooking for people. He's, I think, down in Florida located, and he just recently came out with a bag or a number of chips to kind of complement his spices. So, man, Keith is doing some big things, and I think what he said on the interview that really resonated with me personally is, hey, come out with a product. Based on the law of numbers, somebody is going to buy it. And I think that's a similar thing to what Lonnie Johnson was saying, the inventor of the Super Soaker, when I interviewed him this past week, is, hey, come out with your product. Somebody's going to buy it, and, you'll be able to go through the channels, the manufacturing and all that, and kind of really start to kind of build your brand. So shout out to Keith, a.k.a. Mr. Spice King, on his set of spices, which you guys see on the left-hand corner, man. He's supposed to be sending me some, so I'm going to have to hold him to that. But we're going to move on to the next. We're going to go to your boy, Bill Belichick. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't. I was listening to that song earlier today with Jamie Foxx and Kanye West. It seems like Bill Belichick, you see his girl next to him in a picture, which is, she's damn near 50 years younger than him. I think Bill Belichick is like 79 or in his 70s. And Jordan, I think, is her name. She is like 24. So, hey, man, she's about 50 years younger than your boy Bill Belichick. But she a business person. So this is kind of my question that I do want to ask you guys. Do you think that a person is a gold digger? What I think is a gold digger is somebody who's just kind of using you for your money. Using your money, not kind of adding value to you, not putting back into the pot. They're just using you for your money. Seems like in this case, Jordan, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, is trying to kind of be a businesswoman. We all know Bill Belichick just like to do football. He's all about football, coaching football, and he's not necessarily on a business thing as it relates to these trademarks and apparel and brand deals and all that stuff. But it seems like his girlfriend, Jordan, which is on a picture with him in the left-hand corner, is trying to look out for him. She's filed a number of trademark applications back in April, and she just recently filed a trademark this month in August for the term gold digger. And she's pretty much everybody calling her a gold digger. She having a little bit of fun of it. I think she filed it for like keychains and bracelets and stuff like that. So he's going to get a number of these trademarks. I'm actually kind of pull up what all she has filed for a trademark for this year. She's filed for a trademark on a number of different things, man. And I think she's going to get awarded a few of them. So here's all the trademarks that she has filed this year. Obviously, you have gold digger right there. But she's filed Chapel Bill. Obviously, we know Bill Belichick is now coaching at the University of North Carolina. I actually like Bellastrator. I think she's going to get Chapel Bill. She's going to get Bellastrator. Trail of Salty Tears. I'm not sure what that means. I guess it's some public criticism. No days off. That's a famous term that Belichick has used. I think she's going to probably get that. The Belichick way, which is a play on the Patriots way. I think she's going to get a trademark on that. And yeah, no, actually, I think No Days Off. New England Patriots has a trademark on it, so I'm not sure if she's going to get that. She's not going to get that. A Bellacat, she should get a trademark on. So she's looking out for Bill on a business standpoint. So again, I'm not sure if she is a gold digger. She's definitely a lot younger than him, and she sees some opportunity that I think she's trying to capitalize on. Absolutely. But again, I think she's ultimately getting money for Bill Belichick as well in areas that he has no interest to kind of operate in a deal with. That being kind of brand deals. I think they got a Hulu show that's coming out about the team and kind of going through training camp and stuff like that. So she's actually looking out for Bill Belichick, trying to get him a couple of bags in ways that he really wouldn't have got it for it. And who would have thought that Bill Belichick would have a Hulu show that's coming out on training camp, the University of North Carolina program? But it seems like your girl Jordan is looking out for him. So shout out to Bill Belichick for getting him a nice young thing. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about whether or not she's a gold digger. She filed for a trademark on the term gold digger to the extent that you just walked in. So shouts out to Bill Belichick for that. I do want to go on to the next subject, which I am, this is interesting. We're going to see a video space cleanup. It was a Japanese company that recently got a patent on essentially a way or method for cleaning up debris in space. And we're going to play the video here in a second. But I do want to talk about the importance of this because apparently it's a ton of shit that's just flying around in space, garbage. And as people kind of go up for missions or satellites orbit, they're like crashing into this stuff and it's kind of projectiles and it's damaging stuff. I think that's the importance of Elon Musk shooting up rockets and being able to kind of bring the rockets back, because apparently once you shoot up a rocket into space, once it runs out of fuel, it just kind of stays up there. And it's kind of just orbits and it's got just some trash up there, which I could say why Elon Musk is not only shooting up rockets, but he's bringing the rockets back in and capturing them so that he's not adding to the waste in space, which I think is cool. But it seems like in this case, this Japanese company has got a patent for this kind of space cleanup. So I do want to kind of play the video here really quickly. Let's go here. Just kind of see what they're talking about. Let me make sure I got it on the right speed. Okay, let's go.
Space. Vast, infinite, but not as empty as you might think. The Earth's orbit now flooded with man-made trash, threatening space missions, critical...
Hey, man, that's crazy. Look at all this trash that apparently they said it's like 1 million pounds of trash in space. Look at all this trash that's in space.
Threatening space missions, critical satellites, and even life on Earth. One solution, futuristic robots designed to go into space and
that's not the one that I was talking about. Let me get to the right one. I'm not sure why I had both of those queued up. Okay, here we go. This is it. That's the founder or at least the CEO of the Japanese company. Make sure the speed is on. Let's go.
Device known as active debris removal, or ADR. It's designed to latch onto defunct satellites and drag them towards Earth's atmosphere for a fiery disposal. But this isn't an easy task. Astroscale is looking at how to refuel satellites while they're still in space. Right now, when a satellite runs out of fuel, its mission is over. Shave says the company hopes to have an ADR craft in orbit within the next couple of years.
We're looking at getting into orbit with this spacecraft towards the end of 2026 and into 2027. So that's the sort of time frame that we are looking at doing this type of debris removal or refueling type technology.
So it looks like he's either trying to refuel the satellites that are in space or bring them back to orbit. And it seems like a part of bringing them back to orbit with this kind of apparatus, so to speak, is they kind of push the debris or the satellite into space such that it either burns up, which is crazy to think about, or it kind of makes it through the atmosphere and just kind of falls as waste into the actual water. I think that's pretty much the end of the video. And so that's pretty much the end of the video. So, man, shouts out to the Japanese company. And it's almost like a arms race, similar to like AI, but it's like a space race. An arms race for AI, but it's also an arms race for kind of space and kind of being able to add value in that vein. So shouts out to that, man. Let me see if I want to kind of tackle the video here. I mean, not the video, but it was an article that I think was associated with this. Let me see. I'll read this here really quickly. I do want to go through this article here. Here we go. So space junk cleanup technology that could shepherd debris into atmosphere gets its patent. So the Japanese space sustainability company Astroscale has unveiled a patent for what it describes as a new method for space debris removal. Astroscale has developed a distributed, reusable system that aims to be more cost-effective and agile than traditional approaches to active debris removal, ADR. The system is described pretty much a U.S. patent for its method and system for multi-object space debris removal. The new method involves a single surface and spacecraft docking with multiple large space debris objects such as defunct satellites and spent rocket stages and transforming them into a separate vehicle dubbed as Shepard for controlled re-entry into Earth's atmosphere away from the populated area. So again, it's pushing this debris into space atmosphere away from all the homes and pretty much into the water. This not only makes debris removal more cost-effective and scalable, but also reduces the risk of debris surviving re-entry and threatening people or infrastructure on the ground. Definitely don't want to hit people or infrastructures. You'll be looking at a lawsuit at that point. So this patent innovation offers a sustainable and cost-effective distributed architecture approach to active debris removal, allowing for scalable, repeatable ADR operations and control re-entry of multiple debris objects. The system is also highly flexible, allowing different mission profiles depending on the object size and risk. The Shepard vehicle can stay docked through re-entry, detach, and return to orbit, or be skipped altogether if the mission allows. I'll read this last one. Our distributed architect solves a key challenge in orbital debris removal by enabling the deorbit and re-entry of multiple large debris objects, sustainability and economically. Pretty much, man, you talk about sustainability and being economically feasible, and people are jumping all on it. So, man, shout out to the Japanese company. Hey, you got to love innovation. It seems like this has come something different from what Elon Musk is doing. Elon Musk is kind of sending rockets up there and kind of landing them back. Seems like in this case, they're sending up this apparatus or machine or robot, so to speak, that's kind of pushing the debris back into the Earth atmosphere. So shouts out to Astroscale for that. And we're going to go to the last subject of the day, which is crazy bull versus crazy cow. Now, these are two, essentially, you see the pictures to the left. We'll go through the lawsuit here really quickly, but I do want to kind of give you guys some context. So El Toro Loco, which is the picture to the far left, apparently means the crazy bull, and La Vaca Loca is pretty much the crazy cow. Now, in my opinion, these words don't even look the same, but even when you translate it to English, one means the crazy bull, one means the crazy cow. It seems like El Toro Loco, which is the crazy bull, that company, which is the steakhouse, is suing La Vaca Loco, which is the crazy cow, for trademark infringement. These are two companies down in Florida that essentially sell food. I do want to kind of bring up their IG pages just so we can kind of get a better idea of what it is that they're kind of doing. Man, this is El Toro Loco. Again, it's a steakhouse, apparently the number one steakhouse, the self-acclaimed number one steakhouse. This is down in Florida. See some pictures from their IG. They got 137,000 followers. So She's a pretty looking lady right there. See the old school. Seems like this is a waitress. Somebody enjoying his birthday or some type of vacation. What is this guy? Let's turn this on. Just some music. I'm not trying to get copyright strike, so I'm gonna turn it off. But then I do want to kind of show you guys this La Vaca Loca, their Instagram page. And I want to hear from you guys, man. Do you think that this is trademark infringement or no? I don't think it is. Two reasonable minds can differ. I'm assuming that this is the owner of it. Let's see what she has to say.
Casquito de guayaba en formato familiar, tamaño grande, porque aquí a usted.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. But I do want to mention that based off of what I just played, man, if you go down to Florida, particularly Miami, you would think that Spanish is like the first language. When you get Uber drivers and just kind of run into people off the street, man, that Spanish-speaking community, whether it's Cubans or Hispanics, whatever the case may be, Venezuelans, it's heavy on the Spanish down there. You go down there and you leave, you're like, damn, this feel like you was in a whole different country. So, hey, to the extent that anybody hasn't been to Miami, you probably want to get some Spanish lesson. Brush up on that Spanish a little bit before you go down there. But I do want to kind of pull up the lawsuit and read through it here really quickly before I get you guys up out of here. Coming up on 30 minutes, so it's kind of perfect timing. Is this it? Let's see here. That's not it. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. So El Toro Loco, which is the crazy bull, has sued the crazy cow, La Vaca Loca, for trademark infringement. Both of these are Floridian companies. So let's kind of see here. So jury trial. Kind of skip that. Let's go here. El Toro Loco provides a wide range of high-quality culinary goods and services to consumers throughout the Miami-Dade County, Florida. El Toro Loco operates Brazilian, so it's a Brazilian barbecue steakhouse. They got some food trucks, bars, takeouts, home delivery, so forth and so on. They've been operating for 10 years, almost 10 years, December 1st, 2015. Or it'll be 10 years in a couple months. Which, I mean, anytime you got a business for 10 years, you're doing something right. So El Toro Loco operates in neighborhoods throughout the Miami County, but, you know, I'm not going to talk about the neighborhoods. So these are the trademarks. You see the bull mark, El Toro Loco. El Toro Loco, the crazy bull. See, they have a word mark. A lot of different classes. Seems like El Toro Loco Ranch. So forth and so on. So those are the classes. Some other ones, incontestable. When it's an incontestable mark, that just pretty much means that they've been using it consistently for 5 years. That means you can't pretty much say you don't have a trademark on it when a mark becomes incontestable. So just kind of giving you guys some game. When you've been using your trademark for 5 years, you can file or some paperwork with the USPTO to make sure your mark is incontestable. And when it's incontestable, then people cannot contest as it relates to the validity of the trademark. So the protected marks are used in connection with El Toro Loco, providing high-quality culinary goods and services to consumers. Long before the crazy cow began their infringing activities complained of herein, the protected marks have been used by El Toro Loco in commerce to identify and distinguish its high-quality goods and services, so forth and so on. The business of La Vaca Loca, that's the defendant, the crazy cow, directly competes with the business of El Toro Loco. They pretty much both sell food. I want to say they compete. This is not a Brazilian steakhouse. As you saw from the Instagram page, it looks like they sell fruits and vegetables and shakes and things like that. But again, you know, it's a point taken that they're both selling food. La Vaca Loca, which is, again, the crazy cow, markets and operates a farm, a restaurant and eatery, and provides catering services. The nature of the crazy cow goods and services overlap with the crazy bull. La Vaca Loca uses a confusingly similar La Vaca Loca, which closely resembles plaintiff protected marks without authorization. Again, I disagree with this. I think the crazy bull and the crazy cow are two different. It's just too different. I don't think that's confusingly similar. And then when you also look at El Toro Loco and La Vaca Loca, those even look differently. So I'm not going into La Vaca Loca thinking that I'm going into El Toro Loco or the Brazilian restaurant. This unauthorized use of La Vaca Loca mark is likely to cause confusion, mistake, or deception among consumers. Furthermore, Lavaca Loca has recently filed for 2 trademark applications with the USPTO. And I think they're going to get these trademarks. But I think one of the things that El Toro Loco, the plaintiff, did in this case that probably wasn't right, they should have waited to what the USPTO said before filing a trademark this lawsuit. Again, like I said, Lavaca Loca has filed for 2 trademark applications for Lavaca Loca marks, which means the crazy cow. And I think El Toro Loco should have probably waited. I do think Lavaca Loca will get these trademarks registered. It'll be interesting. So I have to kind of do an update once that trademark application, both of those trademark applications are examined by the USPTO and see whether or not they are going to actually get them awarded or they're going to reject it in light of El Toro Loco's mark. Again, I don't think it's a consumer confusion or likelihood of confusion. So I think that Lavaca Loca will be good in my opinion. So it seems like in April of this year, El Toro Loco sent Lavaca Loca a cease and desist letter. What happened? Despite this demand, Lavaca Loca has refused to cease the use of the Lavaca Loca marks and continue to infringe. And I probably would, if they were asking me about this, I would have did the same thing. If Lavaca Loca would have came to me with this cease and desist letter from El Toro Loco, I would have been like, this doesn't look like trademark infringement to me. And in my opinion, or in my advice is for you guys to continue on with this thing. This is not trademark infringement. And I think if they go to court, they're going to lose. So I'm not surprised that Lavaca Loca continue to use their mark despite the cease and desist letter. To date, Lavaca Loca's persistent use of the Lavaca Loca marks has resulted in continued and substantial damages to El Toro Loco. Plaintiff has retained the undersigned counsel to so forth and so on. Then you pretty much have trademark infringement. What is this? Violation of the Lanham Act. In general, to provide trademark infringement, you must own a mark. The defendant has made some I'm not going to go through all this. Lavaca Loca, without authorization, has infringed on a protected mark. Yeah, we talked about that. They don't have any actual consumer confusion. The actions of the defendant's complaint of hearing are likely to cause confusion. It would have helped out in this case if people were actually confused, but I don't think people are actually confused because I don't think it's trademark infringement. El Toro Loco have placed defendants on written notice, essentially that cease and desist letter. Lavaca Loco acts constitute willful and deliberate trademark infringement, trying to get them treble damages. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm not going to go through each of these. Like I said, I'm going to tell you from kind of my experience. I do not think that this is trademark infringement between the crazy bull, as you see to the left, and the crazy cow, which you see to the right. Again, they're both in Florida. The El Toro Loco has trademarks. They both sell food. However, the names are not likely to cause confusion, confuse consumers, in my opinion. Even especially when you take the marks along with the logos, El Toro Loco with the bull, and then Lavaca Loca with the cow. These are not a likelihood of confusion, in my opinion. So I would love to hear from you guys what you guys think. Is it trademark infringement? Is it not? People like you will be on a jury if this thing actually makes it that far, and they're going to be deciding it. So this is kind of good practice for you all to kind of have in your head, is this trademark infringement? Is it not? In my opinion, who's been doing this for 10 plus years, this is not trademark infringement. But again, reasonable minds may differ. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. This was a short one. Like I said, trying to get you guys out. I know it's Labor Day weekend. People still probably hanging with the family. I think you guys still have one more day off on Monday. So probably out having a good time. I know Notre Dame is about to play Miami. College football started back this weekend. So that's exciting for everybody, including me. I think I'm about to go to the Scar Lounge and kind of watch that Notre Dame Miami game myself. Have a nice stogie. Be on the lookout for my interview October 1st with Lonnie Johnson, the inventor of the Super Soaker. That is phenomenal. That was life-changing, not only for me, but I think he's giving you good information and solid information. So a lot of good tips on that one as relates to IP, selling a product, building a business. And again, this man, if you go to Google, he's worth over 300 million, at least according to Google. Whether or not that 300 million number is accurate, this guy's worth a lot of money based on his inventions. He was a NASA engineer. He's in the Air Force. Hey man, he's well decorated. Like I said, invented the Nerf gun in addition to the Super Soaker. So your boy Lonnie Johnson, he's a real deal. So definitely go check out that interview once it comes out October 1st. What else do I have for you guys, man? I think we have kind of been through it. Spice King, go check out that interview. Go check out the kind of the longer form clips that I did with the FU trademark, with the gold dicker with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. Go check out the Liddle speaker. There was another one. Yeah, the clean, the satellite. I thought that was interesting with the Japanese company getting a patent on a pretty much method for cleaning up the debris or the trash in Earth. So go do that. Please, please, please hit the like button of this video for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. Hey, I'm closer than ever. I got a couple different products coming out. One is a digital product that I think all business owners will find useful, as well as I got a physical product that's coming out. That'll probably be more so at the end of the year. I'm trying to get that out by Christmas. It may be a little difficult, but I'm shooting to try to get it out for Christmas. So I got a couple months on it. Let's see here. Again, go purchase the shirt. Peace, love, intellectual property. That link is in the comment section. So go check out that. Go check out the ebook, Got IP. Giving you a lot of good information. And that's pretty much it, man. I think that's what I'm going to leave you guys off with. Thank you for another good stream. I'll catch you guys next week. Another live, man. We not missing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the Labor Day week, and I'll talk to you next week.